Hey there, and welcome to part 2 of the Draconian Transmuter. It's Ic0n, and I've took a break from making videos for a few days with the Albion release. I've got sucked into this sandbox MMO feeling, and well, now I'm back, continuing the adventures of the great Draconian of Rue, and I've taking some time to get an overview over my situation, and I won't say that I'm in a bad spot, but I'm certainly not in the best spot, because one thing, I don't have statue form available. That's the first big problem I'm having here, and actually I'm a bit kidding here. I don't have teleport scrolls. That's certainly making me kind of nervous, because that means the further away I get from stairs, the more dangerous the situations can be. I've entered Dungeon 7. Potentially there can be pretty nasty guys around, and I've decided that I want to learn Ice Form and Blade Hands. I've been considering if I want to learn Ice Form, but I thought about my innate weakness against cold. And with Ice Form I get a few cold resistance levels and can negate this weakness, and overall it can prove useful. Although it's a bit of a learning point to achieve, but it's okay, I think. And look at that beauty. I need some options. Yes, please. I want those heal wound potions and the might potions for sure. I think I'm gonna pick up the Berserk Rage and the Lignification too. Those are very, very handy to have as well, and I come to the decision that I want to blow up all my money into this and also buy the Potion of Agility. Since I'm not wearing any armor, I can rely on evasion, and agility certainly shines. And here we have a phantom. Alright. I'm gonna sit back a bit. I don't want to make noise in that room. I'm gonna put up the bandage and let this guy come, and let's see how this will go. I don't feel too confident fighting this phantom, since this training brand doesn't do anything against this guy, and I'm training unarmed combat. And let's check if this goes better if I'm not wielding a weapon. Okay. Certainly might be that this longsword is not as useful as full unarmed combat anymore. Since I'm putting up some points that my delay gets better. Let's check. And there's a blowgun guy. One strong side is that I was lucky with the color of my Draconian. Since I got the gray color, I don't have the breath attack, but I got a load of AC instead of that. And I'm not breathing anymore. I think that's certainly some good thing to have. I think water elementals should not be able anymore to suffocate me with this color. Anyways, it's a very good color for a Transmuter. Since I want to go into statue form, I'm gonna enjoy some more extra armor class. That's really cool. I've checked that I've sacrificed my stealth to Rue already, and well, the decision went like that I didn't feel like going too stealthy in statue form overall. I'm too slow in my opinion to make use of stealth. Okay, I want to go spider form into that and kill down this priest. The other guys I ignored a bit, which looked pretty dangerous, but it was the safest way to fight this, because the priest was the only real danger source here. The orcs didn't actually bring up too much pressure. Alright. Keep running through my permafood, and there's another hungry ghost. They get a bit annoying at that point. Alright, let's check out this. this is over. Alright, good. We went fine. what I'm gonna do with this hungry ghost. How can I kill him the fastest way? I don't want to be in spider form anymore. That's point one. Oh, blade hands would be very handy in this situation, but I could also stick to snakes. I'll try if my snakes can take care of this ghost. Oh, it doesn't look too bad, actually. I think I'm gonna spam him with snakes. I'm not too fond of fighting up close, and as far as I remember, yeah, well, it's some hunger cost to take, but I think I would have needed more food to achieve that without the snakes. So we'll get another point of intelligence, and let's rest up. The thing about transmuters is that they need some time to develop punching power. Before you have blade hands online, you have pretty much trouble to kill stuff at some points of the game. And at the moment when you can cast blade hands, you're usually hovering around the area of the lair, and then you run into the next problem. You can't kill hydras with blade hands. You chop off heads with blade hands. That's a problem, big one. And this brings me to the point where I have to make some decisions. I want to bring up ice magic to have the ice form, but yeah, well, let's drop transmutations for a bit and focus into ice magic. It'll take a while until I have the blade hands available. And I'm absolutely missing a shield as well. I'm gonna eat some more. And yeah, I'm pretty afraid of blowing this little guy up by accident, because I think I have to avoid some situations. I think I'm not able to conquer through the dungeon with, like with other characters at this point of the game. So I'm proceeding pretty carefully here. But so far only empty corridors breed our cautiousness and improve the tension, and there we see another. Boo-hoo. I think there's gonna be something bad around that corner, I wanted to say. Okay, Erica has a wand of acid. And let's check out her danger potential. Okay. I'm not really too fond of fighting her like that. There's an upstairs behind me. I'm only getting nervous about this wand of acid. Yet still I know that I can blast her down pretty quickly with spider form. Huh. Well, I think I'm gonna retreat for now, because this acid wand can hurt so hard. And here we go. I'm really happy I avoided this fight. And yeah, that would have been really bad if I got beaten up harder. This way I could at least save the healing potion. Okay. Do I have Invis? Actually, I don't know if I have Invis or not. Okay. Certainly sad. Certainly sad. Okay. Let's have a check. I feel a bit tempted to blast her down, since the long blade she's carrying around could solve some of my problems along the way. But without invisibility I don't feel too safe about this. So I'm going to a different downstairs and delay this fight. Oh, that's Potions of Brilliance. Actually, that would help a lot too. Okay. With Brilliance I can solve this situation. So I don't know if she's still hanging around down there. Don't want to blow up my potion too early. Gonna quaff into haste and Brilliance. And then I'm gonna step over to this corner. I don't want to get acided too hard. And now I'm gonna go into Blade Hands, and then I let her come. And then I should be able to chop her down quickly enough. At least that was the kind of stuff I was hoping for, so that didn't happen quickly enough. Alright. Looks like I should have invested a potion of might here. But we took her down. I picked up a huge chunk of XP and also the Scimitar of Flaming. That was actually a reasoning why I took all this risk. Alright. And I want to break this bad habit that this fight had with me. I should have looked up her stats on Beam and checked with my health if I was still able to fight her like that. It was too rash. I really want to stop fighting like that, but sometimes my optimism gets the better of me. Alright. Difficult decisions here. I want to check how good this ice form chance going on. Pretty well, actually. Certainly getting somewhere. At this point I want to do something more radical and switch hard into long blades for a while, since I found so many good long blades that I actually feel like these can transition me pretty good into the mid-game, better than my spellbook could. And I can also go into Blade Hands if I need to, but I can also go into Spider. And let's have a look. Let's go into Beastly Appendage and fight a bit. Getting a lot of damage, but it works out. Scimitars are pretty good mid-game weapons in terms of long blades, yet still my attack speed is pretty slow. That's why I focus into ice and long blades right now pretty much, but I don't want to let my defenses down. That's some kind of philosophy here, because I really need every point of fighting and dodging I can get. As a Draconian, you can utilize this pretty hard, and look at this beauty. Alright, we're gonna put up this buckle, and we're gonna drop dodging for a bit. And go for shields until this hits 4. This does more good for me if I learn going to shields. Shields are very attractive for Transmuters, since you can use a shield while being in statue form. That's the basic idea behind this. Alright, and we run into this very extremely dangerous player ghost. Looking spooky. Alright. I'm gonna cut the corner and run towards this upstairs first. And I think I could be able to fight this guy. And I want to give it a try, because I noticed that his AC is not too high. But I can't take too many hits from this guy without falling apart. And try one will be getting into the first round and take a hard slap from this Minotaur dude into the face, and then I get cowardly away. Because I explored a lot of this floor and I don't know if this player ghost is really worth the effort right now. Yet still, he's in my way, because I really want to have access to stairs where I can rest up. I feel like a potion of brilliance and agility could do the trick. Okay, let's retreat back to this upstairs again. And I'm gonna go here. I'm not gonna prepare myself in front of him. This only gives this guy free hits into me. I'm gonna go into blade hands and 12 agility. That's a lot of evasion all of a sudden. I wonder if I should go for a might or not, but I'm gonna give it a try. How this goes. That was a big hit from my side, but I took in another. But I don't need might here. No. But look at this, all the skill points. That's why I wanted to invest these potions into this situation. And get rid of an obstacle by any means. This floor isn't done yet. Going to spider against this ogre again, because I really want to rely on evasion against slow hitting, hard hitting dudes. Okay, sword is doing a good job here. A new scroll, let's check it out. It's amnesia. Don't want to forget a thing right now. I rather would pick up some more spells. Alright, let's have a check. I don't feel like I want to go for more ice magic than 5. And we have more wreaths here. That's one annoying customer. Alright, he can go in this. And he might have a wand. He often comes with a wand. And he's not really dangerous, but annoying. Alright, let's check if this wand has a few zaps left for this friend. And he went super fast, super close. Alright, I want to try to acid wand him. That worked out. And let's go to spider. And maybe I'm able to. Oh, he stole all my gold. He looks unstable. He goes in this and he dies. Alright. He had a wand. And it was a wand of ice blast. I can't afford this potion of agility. I don't have agility. Okay. Thanks. More reminder. That's a good reminder. I was also playing some Hellcrawl along the way when I went into the Albion break. And Hellcrawl really felt funny. It's like a rough rodeo version of Dungeon Crawl. It has a lot of funny features like no upstairs. I really love that feature. No upstairs. No stair dancing included. It's one heck of a play style to go through. But I really like it. It's a good training of situation management. I really enjoy it. I want to put up some videos of that. I'm gonna put up some Hellcrawl list in the next time when I don't feel like going for the Transmuter or for the other actual playlist. I think it's gonna be some fun to see how this goes. Alright, back to this. D9, Phantom, and Orc. Well, not too dangerous. Gonna bring up the appendage. And this Orc pack doesn't come alone. Oops, fat fingered. Well, let's see. I mean, I'm gonna try to fight this. I have some evasion rating, and these riposte attacks are really coming in handy here. These orcs get slaughtered so hard. That's one thing why I was actually pretty interested in picking up Erica's weapon. Yet still, I think this could have been a point where I could die. That's really certainly annoying. Alright, ogre time, and it's the big ogre this time. I think this guy can squish me really hard. I mean, look at that. It's 35 damage without the clubs. I mean, I have some armor class. Which I will lose completely if I go into spider. Alright. I want to get a bit closer to the stairs. I don't want to aggravate anything else besides this. I'm gonna go into spider. I feel like this is the safest way to do this. Alright. That didn't work out at all. Alright. So, this ogre is certainly a problem. I have to respect that. I feel like blade hands and agility could do a good job. Because with blade hands I will keep the armor class. Yet still I don't have too much skill to bring up blade hands. Alright, that's enough ice magic. Let's focus back into transmutations for now. That's the kind of thing with hybrid builds, because I mean, these investments into long blades, they're actually not too much experience, but in the early game they mean so much. That's the problem with that. With hybrid builds you need to crisscross skill a lot, and yeah, I think I'm gonna drop long blades actually at 5, because I just wanted to make the scimitar a bit more accessible to me, because I think about going for Hydra Callan with it. I'm not too sure, but until then it's really handy to have it. Oh, and Rue has some sacrifice time. That's really cool. Okay, so what can I sacrifice? I can sacrifice experience. That would make me lose 2 levels permanently. Ouchie. I could sacrifice skill. That's actually hurting me a lot as well. I could sacrifice resistances. It's actually nothing. No route. No deal. Bring me something else. When you do that with Rue, he will wait out longer until he offers you the next sacrifices. Yet still, I didn't feel like I was able to bring these sacrifices at this point. Sacrificing skill seems doable in the long run, but right now it would just mess me up. We identified holy word, Ic0n. Alright. I really feel like I need these aptitudes right now where they are to progress quickly enough to the scary early game of the hybrid. I want to keep some advantages, Rue. Can't give you everything. Alright. I feel like the long blade is a good everyday weapon where the blade hands offer a lot of raw burst damage. There's some golden gloves. This one, need to. But I'm not gonna keep that with the blade hands. Alright. I'm feeling not safe with this character at all. It's a problem when I play Transmuters. You have to be so careful until you hit that power spike when you pick up the statue form or something similar to play around. I mean, these spells in the starting book, they're not strong enough to carry you through this. You're not 100% relying on statue form. You can go for other alternatives for rounding up your build. You can also go for summonings or something like that. You have to adapt into the situation very much as a transmuter. You ultimately can always pick up statue form, but I feel like you can achieve your goals also with a necromancy summoning setup where you work around a lot of obstacles you create between you and your enemies and chunk across with the blade hands that actually can bring you somewhere. Alright, a jelly. One hit jelly. bees and the two-headed ogre. And still no teleport scrolls. Alright. I'm gonna fall back here. I'm not resistant to poison, so these bees can get really annoying. But I have a lot of armor class because I'm a great Draconian and... look at that! Riposte kills off these dudes pretty well. Alright. So I don't have a real answer for this two-headed ogre apart from blasting his face hard with a wand of acid. That's actually the only thing I can put up against this guy. And I feel like that's not actually enough. And not worth the thing until I have this wand identified at least. But I'm lacking scrolls of ID. And I can enchant this scimitar, because why not? It's a good companion and I won't rely into weaponry in the late game. And there's this two-headed ogre I ran blindly into. Oh, shame on me. Alright. I feel like I summoned him somehow. Alright. So let's acid him. And I want to take one or two swings that went horrible for me. That went even more horrible. Okay. This won't work out. I'm absolutely not strong enough to take down an ogre like that. I want to fall back to these stairs, and yeah. He took the tile. I'm gonna blink and escape. I really need to stay away from these big boys. I'm not ready yet to face them. That's for sure. I really need to bring up transmutations to the point where I can bring up blade hands, because with blade hands I'm pretty much able to chunk these guys down pretty good. But I don't have any brilliance potions with me anymore, so I can't pull up that trick anymore. And that was actually the wrong downstairs. Alright. I'm pretty fed off with these big bullies messing around with me. So what I'm gonna do, if I go into spider form, they smack me down too hard. I'm actually not able to kill off these dudes. I'm really not able to do anything. And the only thing I could try is to zap his face down with this acid, with these wands I'm carrying around. But apart from that, I mean, a potion of might and a potion of haste. Berserk Rage. But I feel like it could be pretty unhealthy to Berserk Rage into that. Let's try to net this guy. Hello there. That was the winning move. Alright. Let's want this dude and fed off with you big douches. Get away get out of my life. Alright. That should be enough to kill him down. Okay, there's this next guy. I want to try to avoid him. Took me enough effort to bring down this one guy. I don't want to waste all my wands into a situation that's pretty much not worth the effort. One of them okay. That was a nice chunk of XP. But the other guy, I don't want to keep some charges on my wands. Also, really want to learn some evocations, but yeah, the fate of the hybrid. Alright, that's a rough spot. That's my option pool. I feel like I want to Ice Blast into their face, but it's not gonna happen anymore. This lightning wand did the trick. Oh, gee. I think I got smited. Or didn't I? No, actually not. It's only this warrior chunking me so hard. Whoa. I feel like I want to finish these guys off with my evocables. Maybe I can net and chop him down there. Yeah. Another potion of brilliance. Very, very good. That will help me along the way a bit. Alright. D10. That's very delayed entrance to the lair for this game. I feel like I gotta rely on those long blades a bit more, because I need to be able to deal with hydras somehow. I certainly won't be able to do that with wands the whole game through. And Ic0n doesn't help too much either. Alright, Merfolk is bringing. That's unusual. Okay, I'm gonna go into Spider and clear up this affair. They're pretty vulnerable to poison, that's a good thing. Okay. Feels a bit weird to skill up long blades so much. Yet still I feel like it's a good idea to utilize my items here that I found in this matter. Okay, heading there, Steam Dragon. And so far I don't feel like running full unarmed combat would bring me up as much performance as this scimitar would. How to put this? What I mean is, putting up 10 points into long blades will bring me more power up than bringing up 10 points into unarmed combat right now. I'll stop leveling long blades at some point, but I'm gonna switch over to unarmed again after that. Then I'm gonna keep focusing unarmed to be able to live without this sword, but for now it's the best thing that could happen to me. I wonder if my appendage actually should do something. Don't know yet. Well, whatever. Certainly doesn't hurt. I'm getting close to the point where I can drop shields and bring up dodging again. I'm looking forward to that. It's kind of an investment to make here, but the shields help a lot. Alright, there we go. Finally found the entrance to the lair. Oh, there can be. And these points into long blades start to pay off. Feel a lot stronger by now. I'm not as vulnerable anymore. I'm really happy I pulled this over upstairs by accident. It was kind of a happy accident, let's call it like that. Because now I'm rid of this guy at this floor. And we have Grum. Alright, do you have something special on you, Grum? No. Alright, I'm gonna spam some snake. Let's check if they can clean up the affair. Totally forgot about the snakes with these ogres. It was actually pretty silly. Well, I noticed that I took some break from this game. That was actually pretty dumb. I should have thought of the snakes with these ogres. Alright. The point with the ogres and snakes is that snakes are faster than ogres. That's why they can always kill an ogre if you kite the ogre. That's the point. That's why it was silly to forget it. Alright, we've got shields. And I want to put up some dodging. I really want to put it up again. That's one necessary defensive tool here. Alright, so I can cast Ic0n pretty safely now. Let's check what it will do. Okay, it makes my defensive stats pretty horrible, actually. Chunks down my armor class hard. Alright, not too attractive, actually. But this is pretty sweet, though. Alright. But I'm not too sure if I'm really able to pull this off effectively. And yeah, it's one candidate that's on my I might want to amnesia you spells. Well, I'm gonna see later. Alright. I'm down to D10 now, and I have layer open. Yet still I'm gonna stick my head into D11. Yeah, I'm gonna be very, very careful around here with the Herald. That's why I want to be really, really careful around here. Alright, Herald. It's a lot of fire damage. And I don't have fire resistance on me or to put up. As far as this game goes, there's seriously a lack of rings. D11 and not a single one. Huh. It's a normal halberd on him, but this bolt of fire thing is actually scaring me pretty hard. He can nuke me down pretty quickly with this. I'm gonna try different downstairs. Ouch. Okay, that's... Whoa. That's some harsh punishment. Alright. Okay, I have to go upstairs. I can't fight this situation when I know there's Harold hanging around. And while this is some worst case scenario, I mean, this thing is chunking me. It's only me running upstairs, and my health is all that low already. Alright. Can I net this? I can. Alright. Well, let's run away for now. Alright. I've been expecting you, ogre. So let's do it like this, like I described. It's a funny thing with these snakes. The ogres attack pretty slowly, and the poison will slowly wear them down. And that's a pretty nice way to deal with these dudes. Although it's a bit slow, but it's very safe to do so. Taking a few hits here and there, but overall, that's what I should have done with this dude. But you're not able to pull this off with Hydras. Hydras just chunk down your snake seas. And you can also snake see these orc warriors. And I'm finally putting up moccasins. I was really waiting for these to show up. Okay. Alright. I need to look at this downstairs. Alright. It's pretty close to where I left off the Hydra. And there's a different downstairs to take, because that doesn't feel too good for me. Nope. Nope. That one's an escape hatch. So one way or another, I'm passing through the vicinity of this beast. Alright. We might as well take this way. I don't feel like I have really good options against these right now. And I think I'm gonna jump into the lair and avoid this Hydra for now. And, well, I might not be able to bring down Hydras yet, but I'm able to bring down the rest of these guys, I think. Although the missing resistance to poison can get pretty nasty here. Because Spider Form is actually not too good to bring up. Alright, let's enchant this scimitar harder. Alright, a black man. Let's have a try. Can I chunk this thing down or not? It's hurting me like hell. And I'm lethally poisoned. Alright, that doesn't work out as intended. Whoa. Gotta be careful with these. That's some rough decision making here. I mean, black mambas aren't too common down here. They're not a common type enemy. Yet somehow I don't feel like following long blades is too smart anymore. I feel like this has to suffice for now, and I want to bring up some more punching power with my blade hands at this point. That's a two-handed thing to wield. Okay, go for the appendage and slaughter them. Don't know if I want to follow hard into this to bring it up to 14 and have that nimble layout, or follow unarmed combat. I'm gonna lose the shield when I go into blade hands. That's the issue I'm concerned about. No, I really think for now, long blades is way to go. It's certainly more powerful. Because with blade hands I might be able to pump out more damage. But, well, my overall performance with these long blades is way better. And I have this shield available. And right now I feel like this shield is very, very useful to me. And keeping me safe pretty good. I really want to be able to use this sword to a confident level of expertise before I delve into blade hand fighting. And mainly make this decision out of the fact that I have a flaming weapon. And with a flaming weapon I can kill everything down here. With the blade hands I can't kill everything right here. So for now long blades wins, and after that we'll go for unarmed combat. A scroll of ID. What a nice thing to see. Alright, that one of acid is pretty empty for sure. I'm really wondering if I should go for wands or potions. So what are my options among the potions? Is there anything I really want to pick up pretty soon? I could find invisibility, flight. Invisibility would certainly be useful, but for now I have a scroll of return, and that's why I'm gonna ID this wand of acid, because I want to recharge it. It's a real good power stick to carry around. Alright, potions of agility. My plan with dealing with hydras will be bringing up a snake swarm and get into agility and try to get rid of them. And I've finally found a ring. Let's put it on. First ring of the game. It's an invasion. Dexterity. Not too shabby. I mean, it's not really useful either, but I don't want to roll. Alright, there's a first hydra. I really want to try to bring up a fight here, and I'm gonna sip into one of these agility potions, and I think I might be able to chop it down. There we go. Very nice. Alright. That's really relieving me how smooth this fight went. And the agility potion was also pretty neato against this huge rat swarm. There were hell rats among them, and you want to avoid hits from these. The draining is really obnoxious. I feel like investing into the scimitar will pay off for this run better. And I think for hybrid characters, as a kind of a explanation or a mind setting, if you go for a hybrid character, you want to utilize hard around the options you run across, because you're not a Minotaur. You can't rely on your brute strength. You're not a spellcaster either. You can't rely on that really nice book of wizardry with blink and situational spells and everything is neato. You're not having any of these. You have a handy spellbook, that's for sure, but no hybrid class gets a spellbook which contains answers to all of their problems. Most spellcaster backgrounds get spells which contain answers for like 80% of all problems of the transitioning from early to mid game. After that, everybody has to find something to utilize around, but a hybrid classes are very caught in the middle and have a hard transitioning from early to mid game. That's one thing that I feel like. But if you get through that, you get a very nice, rewarding, and mighty character. You certainly feel, I personally feel a lot of satisfaction out of getting one of these guys going. Feels good to get something so vulnerable and miserable looking through the early game and bring up to some power. Alright, we got layer 1 cleared. Rough ride so far. I really gotta be here on my toes again. Okay, this hornet, that's one tough customer. Hornets can paralyze you, that's one very, very nasty feature of these. And they're pretty quick too, so I don't want to fight this hornet with all these nasties hanging around, actually. And even if I get this hornet upstairs, I think I can't avoid it. These are pretty hard to hit. I mean, I can hope that these suffer the same fate as killer bees, but I don't want to rely on my luck here, and that's why I went into my last net. Because I'm not poison resistant. And when you're not poison resistant, these hornets can prove super, super scary. Really. They can mess up your day pretty hard. Okay, that's the first spiny frog. Let's check. Alright, this is working out pretty well. So usually I don't play around weapon as much when I go for transmuters. Actually I hard focus into unarmed combat until they hit a spot where they're actually pretty viable to kill anything they're running across, apart from hydras. That's absolutely staying a problem here. But my usual answer to hydras, if I go unarmed, would be throwing weapons like javelins. If you bring up javelins and level up some throwing along, you can really chunk down hydras pretty well. Then you only need one or two wand blasts, and then you're pretty done with the hydra. That's a certain good way to play around these. And we identified flight. These wands keep stockpiling pretty hard, and I feel like I'm gonna turn off transmutations for a moment, because I feel I don't need this bladehead spell too hard right now. I'm perfectly fine with long blades, thank you good sir. And instead I'm gonna put up some more evocations, because I'm sitting on such good options with wands that I really want to build around this a bit more. Some points more will magnify the damage that's in these a lot, and you also get a chance to ID wands while using it if your evocations level is high enough. It's also something useful to have. Alright, I'm gonna ignore these awkward plans. I'm not too interested in fighting these And also very interesting is we have almost no rings and almost no books for this game. That's something that's unexpected, but I have to work around it. And that's why I'm running more of a melee oriented build right now. And I have ID scrolls, and I've ID'd the last of my potions, and I want to ID one of these ice blast ones actually. And there's a rune shield. This will influence my decision making, I think, depending on how good it is. It's a shield of protection. Very nice. Very, very nice. This will cripple my spell casting pretty hard for a while, but at this point I'm not really relying on spell casting too hard anymore. I've survived with these spells long enough to find the Scimitar of Flaming, and until I am able to cast something more interesting, I'm pretty alive with that. And right now I'm turned off the focus on long blades because I felt I'm already good enough in long blades, and I'm turning up the focus into shields because I really want to invest into this shield. Speaking of investment, I want to enchant it as well. It's worth at least a scroll. The shield rating is very, very valuable to have for me, because with the gray color and this shield and a +5 sword, I'm actually at a good spot fighting these baddies. It's not enough for the late game though, but for now it'll do pretty fine. And the good thing about statue form is that you can also use a melee weapon in statue form. That's not the worst thing to do. And you can then transition into unarmed combat as soon as your unarmed combat level exceeds your long blade level. And it's a vampiric demon blade. Alright, I'm not buying this. Don't want to go to that. Although I want to keep it, because demon blades are pretty interesting because they use the same cap of skill level, and they're just stronger than the Scimitar. They're not harder to wield, they're just stronger than the Scimitar. And that's funny. That's something to carry around in case of a scroll of brand weapon shows up. Maybe I get a nice electrocution brand or something going on. That would be helpful. Ooh, alright. I immediately started kiting back once these yak showed up, and I noticed a Hydra behind these yak, and suddenly was really happy that I didn't go further forward into this. Alright, let's have a look at my spell casting. It's actually not too bad for the easier spells it is, and I want to bring up a few snakes because they're always a good distraction if you're facing some really hard hitting monsters. That's something that's very useful if you're frail yourself. You can always bring up some of these. I mean, I have a lot of arrows with me. I'm certainly able to use this a lot more, and I'm not using it enough in my opinion. Alright, I'm gonna stockpile on enchant weapon a bit for now, because I feel like +5 on this Scimitar is pretty neato, and well, I want to save them in case the Demon Blade gets a nice brand on it, because Flaming is pretty good, Electrocution would be better. That's the end of the line here. But it's cool to have a Flaming cutting weapon. And I really feel like I'm able to bring down this Hydra, but I wanna do this without yak hanging around. Alright, I could sacrifice a hand. Ouch. I could sacrifice essence. I think I'm gonna go for this. Minus 10% MP is a moderate sacrifice, because sacrificing a hand would mean I would lose the ability to use a shield and two-handed weapons, of course, and one less ring. too much. That's really too much. So I'm gonna go for the essence. And I want to do this because I don't rely on a huge spell power pool that much, and you exude an aura of power that intimidates your foes. I'm not too sure how this actually works. Well, let's see if we're finding out. If someone knows how this, how's the exact physics behind this skill, I'm eager to listen. Alright, we have a 7-headed Hydra coming our way. I feel like I want to soften it up a bit. Or, I'm gonna just agility into this. But I'm gonna bring up some sneak. Alright, I just need to chunk down a few heads, and then it's gone. Yet still, there's still a lot of threat going on from these. Alright, our scales went tougher. That's nice. I'm putting up a lot of AC with this gray color. It's very nice to have. Another scroll of ID. I feel like IDing a lot of lightning could be worth the effort. Oh, it's pretty low already. Alright. So, basically, okay, scroll simulation. Basically, the big difficulty when going for a hybrid class is that you have to find the way to get through the early game without getting slaughtered. You have to survive long enough until you find a spot where you can deal with situations properly. You gotta admit that some situations are too big for your skill division, because as a hybrid you always have to keep in mind that you're a bit behind in everything, because you have to learn too many things at once. I've been really experimenting a lot with skill orders. I already tried just ignoring the spell casting and focusing just the fighting part, and then jump into spell casting. And for me, that didn't feel too well at all. I died way more than when I went for widespread training, and took my pacing very carefully, always keeping the factor in mind that I'm weaker than I usually are at this point of the game, and if I do so, I can conquer this pretty well actually. And 4-headed hydras are not too hard to kill. The distraction with these hydras works like that. The hydra attacks every tile around her, and she has 1 attack per head, which means marked. Which means if she kills 2 snakes with 2 heads, that's 2 heads less to attack me, and that's a good thing. That's something that's helpful. Even if the snake gets blown up, it reduces the damage the Hydra can inflict to you in this turn. And that's certainly something helpful. And the moccasins also survive long enough to help you a bit. Just some thoughts about that. Alright. Shields is getting somewhere. Yet still I feel I really want to put on transmutations again, but then I feel like I really want to bring up shields at least to 8, or yeah, 8 I think is the spot where I'm going to turn on spellcasting again, because I really want to get rid of this encumbrance penalty. Alright, there's this room door. I don't know what's lurking behind this room door, but I do know that I have a lot of options in my pocket. Well, let's do this for the finale of this episode. because I feel like that's a good point to wrap it up after this. And we're having a interesting setup here. That's pretty rude. This torpor snail keeps me slowed as long as I see it, and I absolutely don't want to fight a Hydra like that. So I broke the line of sight. Gonna go into agility potion, bring up some snakes, and now I feel like I can chunk down this. Alright, there we go. That's just a little mini vault here with a staff. Don't feel like going for a staff. Let's eat this snail. That's a delicacy. They're pretty rare. And I'm gonna step over here. And thanks for watching this episode again. We're progressing with this dude. It's fun to play. I love transmuters. They're pretty challenging though, but in a good way challenging. It feels pretty rewarding to progress with these. I'm really looking forward if I'm able to pick up some books at all across this game, but I feel like I'm sitting at a very good spot. Certainly went lucky with the gray color, but well, one can use some luck if he's not finding any good jewelry at all. It's certainly a thing in this game. I mean, look at this, layer 3. That's literally everything. Amulet, ring. Huh. No, nothing. Nothing at all. Well, that's dungeon crawl, you know. It does that. And you're gonna work around it. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. See you again in the next episode then. Drop a comment or some thumbs. I love feedback from you guys. And yeah, see you soon on the next episode, I'd say. Bye bye.